Listen up, everyone. I know that we've been a bit of a mess lately with very weird upload schedule, and we're gone a lot, and there's not a lot of things coming out except in big chunks when all of a sudden we're at the General Assembly or something like that. But regular Restless programming will return. I don't know exactly when. There's a lot going on, but for now, I am going to release for this week one episode from the Patreon vault, something that we did talking about the Super Mario movie, the most recent one. Get a little of our thoughts about pop culture. And for patrons, there's going to be some other content that's coming out. I can also say that I have multiple interviews lined up for this week, and so in the coming weeks there is going to be more regular Restless type content, and Lord willing, it won't be that long before Matt and I are back in the full swing of things. So hopefully this can hold you over until then. I hope it can.
Warning, the following is intended for Restless patrons only. Matt and Michael are pastors, but they probably are not your pastor, and none of what you hear should be taken as direct pastoral counsel, and the laughter should tell you that this isn't financial advice. Listener discretion is
Pastor
advised.
Michael, what people will be somehow shocked, somehow the agrarian anti-AI character on this podcast, you are like, plug me into the Marvel Spider-Man movies and Super Mario Bros. Galaxy. I don't know anything about this. By the way, Anthropic just said their new Claude model, they are not going to release it to the public. They're worried it's too advanced, so they're giving it to the online security companies first, because they're like, hey, you probably got to prepare yourself for a model that's way better than you expect. So I don't know if that's going to become anything, but nobody would expect. But Pastor Michael is the one. Pastor Michael is the pop culture critic of the show. Despite me living in suburbia, my family and I, we're going to a Brewers game, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know. We don't have a switch at our house. We don't know. My kids aren't going to be able to talk about Rosalina with their friends. They're going to feel like fools when all their friends are talking to them about Baby Bowser. So, Pastor Michael, is this movie Slop? I don't know what to think here. Is this just like, congratulations, you finally got to see Star Fox in a movie whose character had nothing happen, but you don't care because you just wanted the you just wanted the thing. So
it is. So of course it's slop, because basically everything that's made today is slop. That's just what it is. Every once in a while, something good comes out. By the way, recommendation, pop culture. We have been watching a ton of stuff in baby season. Young Sherlock on Amazon Prime. You guys, this is one of the best things I've seen in ages.
Wow.
I'm intensely critical of a lot of these things. This was amazing. It was well written. All the characters were great. Some of the major pitfalls, even of Sherlock Holmes type things, they don't fall into. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was phenomenal. Could not recommend it more highly. Okay. But me and my children did go to the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We happen to have some gift cards to a local theater called the Rivoli, which I do love, except it's basically like every other cultural institution in any small town in Wisconsin. It's been completely taken over by the progressives. And so they just make it a little bit gross, right? So they're always like advertising gross movies, even before a kid's movie. They had some like animated movie called Ghost in the Shell. You've maybe heard of. I've heard about this before. Some animated, anime type thing. And they had this, picture up forever of these just like very scantily clad animated women, but like, you know, deep cleavage, like really, like I would describe as raunchy almost. And it's before a kids movie. And I remember going, I kind of vowed I might not ever go back, although I have now multiple times and had good experiences. But we went once not thinking about it during Gay Pride Month. And, you know, so they had before a kid movie. I don't remember what movie, but it was a children's movie. And beforehand they played, advertisement that they were going to be showing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And so this like, you know, drag, cross-dressing classic movie that's very gross and sexualized. And so they play a trailer for that before a children's movie, right? So very gross. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever coming back here. I then did, and it really is a fun place. There's not many places you can go and order pizza and get a beer and sit and watch a movie while they deliver to you pizza. And it really is wonderful.
Yeah.
So we go to see this movie, and I will say my children loved it.
Okay.
They thought it was awesome. And I will say too, like, as far as being able to see a movie and not think, oh, there's going to be all kinds of gross stuff, whatever, even in kids' movies, it's clean.
Sure.
It's fine. It's clean. Here's what it does that every kids' movie does and every movie does, and none of them can stop because it's so ingrained in our worldview. Weak men, strong women, right?
Okay.
Like that is, even though, you know, it's not 100% the case. Mario
This is a Princess Peach movie, is what?
Yeah.
You're
So Princess
saying?
Peach, strong, confident, go get them, can, you know, do all kinds of stuff. Mario, very kind of, I'm not sure how to talk to her. Which isn't, you know, too far off from reality maybe, but like just very like almost skittish, less confident. Let her do, you know, the harder things, with some variation on that. But like, that's just there. It's there in every movie. You will not see a movie, or you'll see very few, with strong, confident, masculine men who just lead and win. It's just like you see very few. Check out Young Sherlock, by the way. Phenomenal. Should definitely check it out. So there's
I
that.
sent the link to my wife. Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
And then the other like just slop element is that there's still also a sense of like, we need to save the bad guy, right? The bad guy who's trying to literally destroy the universe. That's the stakes, by the way. Young Bowser has come to rescue his father and build a gun that will destroy the entire universe. That's the stakes. And then it's always like, well, maybe we can save Bowser. Maybe we can help them. The very final act is saving, you know, young Bowser, the child Bowser, because, you know, his father, and the only good, by the way, father figure with a son and they love each other and want to work together in the whole film, is the bad guy. It's Bowser and his son. But there's actually this relationship of like, you know, my father worked so hard for me. Now I'm building his dream and I'm going to bring him into it. It just happens that dream is we're going to destroy the entire universe.
Sure.
But there's still that element of like, well, we need to save them. I will say they actually do better than most like adult movies where you have somebody, you have to save them in the end. That is the answer. They still like lock them up. They still defeat them. They just do so in a way where they kind of save them too, right? There can never be like a bad guy that just has to be beat.
Right.
You have to save them. It's not like Scar.
Unless you played Mario 64, in which case, you know, Bowser was just a bad guy. You had to
you destroy,
just beat.
Right? You
just won.
Gotta beat. And so I'm always with my kids, I'm always, you know, talking to them about, okay, what's that moral reasoning? What's it saying? What's it trying to tell you? What's it trying to tell you about this relationship between this man and this woman? I will say this. It is better in many ways than many adult movies, right? It's better than most, if not all, Marvel movies. right? It's like, it's better than those things that you might go and see if it's just a date night with you and your spouse. It's better in some ways, but it's also just cliche, right? It's just, at this point, it's just, hey, remember this thing that you played in that video game? Look, we put it on the big screen. Hey, remember this thing that happened? Like, it's all, inside jokes to video game culture. It's all callbacks.
Sure.
It's all it is. And so it also did feel that way. Like, it went from cliche to cliche. I honestly, I didn't even pay attention that much, because I was like, I'm helping my kids get food while they're watching. And then I'm like, okay, I have a moment. I'm going to sit and enjoy this pizza and beer. Like I said before, I haven't been drinking much beer, but just every once in a while, I'm like, well, it's, we're having fun. I'll do this. And so it's an extra enjoyable occasion, and it's fun. But I'm not, I'm not really thinking about the movie as much because of that. So I had trouble following it, because it did seem like cliche to cliche, common thing. It's not. So that's why I say it's slop. It's not slop in that it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
America, what's wrong with you if you're still seeing movies at this stage of decadence where, like, they don't really have a story? Like,
this is like,
I'd love for someone
the
to
art
defend.
form of cinema has, like, it's past. There
It's
will be
gone.
okay movies, right? There will be okay movies. There'll be fun movies. But it's peaked long ago. It is primarily, this is something that Andrew Clavin from the Daily Wire talked about years ago, that I heard him say, that I think is basically correct, that any art form, it is men who, like, invent and kind of take art forms, any and every art form, to its, like, zenith, like, to its climax. And after that point is when women then come in, like, by and large, and take it over. And it's never, like, it just isn't as good. That's not to, denigrate women. It's just to say that, like, that's what men do. They go out, they conquer, right? They take the risks, they do the things that are hard. And then when it's safe and a more comfortable environment, that's where women come in. But that's also why movies, by and large, there's still those who take risks. There's still those who do some of these things that are, make film great. But by and large, we're making it safe, right? No, there are no bad guys. No, there's no true challenge of your preconceptions. No, there is no, like, flip at the end. By the way, you're the bad guy for siding with this character, whatever it is. Like, that's just not something that a more feminine art form is going to do. It's going to comfort, right? It's going to make you feel good about yourself, right? It's going to, it's going to do those things that are more in keeping with the feminine nature.
I think it is fascinating to think about, because, again, it's hard because we live in such a film-dominated, image-dominated culture, to think about an art form having peaked and, like, it actually being behind us.
Yeah.
But that's
seriously,
like,
so watch a Super Mario
total
movie, and then go back and watch The Lion King.
Yeah, of course.
The Lion King is so good. The whole of the story, the soundtrack, right? Every piece of it, the characters are great. So it is a wonderful, wonderful movie in every way. And when you watch the two next to each other, you realize, yeah, maybe the one is, like, a little bit like, cool in its effects or something. But even that, I mean, the original Lion King, like, the fact that they made it the way they did, you feel it deeply. Right. But the story, the soundtrack, the characters, like, they're so well built, they're so well told. And then you watch something today, and it's like, it's all safe, it's all slop, it's all,
but again, it's such an instructive way to think about it, because it helps you. It's like I'll just use an example, right? Like sonnets, right? That form of poetry, that's gone, right? William Shakespeare's sonnets are an incredible literary accomplishment, and that art form's gone.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that every now and again there isn't someone who writes a piece of poetry, even in that form, that is, like, incredible, that, like, is worth noting. But it just means, as a form, like, you aren't finding things, right? Or you could think of in a certain style of painting or whatever. Like, someone might go back into a classical style of painting, but that's largely gone.
Right. And this, I should add, by the way, I'm not saying even that, as an art form peaks and then it becomes more feminine just overall, that doesn't mean that some of those things that are made aren't going to be great, right? There could still be really good work. It's just that it will not, it's like it's come to its fullness, its fruition for what it is.
You go into the movies on the weekend is done. Just like you stopped going to like your local theater, public theater thing, right? Going to the movies on the weekend is over. I think as we talk about the end of movies, again, the 2 points that I think like you knew it was, if you look at the Oscars, go look at when the Lord of the Rings movies were able to win, like when Return of the King basically swept the Oscars. Look at what happens to the movies that win that after that. You will say, I think, be able to pinpoint, look, filmmaking was basically now descending at that point. And then everything will just say like this fully corporate model. The death of that was announced whenever Avengers Endgame, I don't know what year that movie came, whenever that saga ended and everyone realized this was the big idea we had, and now we have no idea. And now we just have to be
We're going to try it again. What if there were new Avengers? What if they ended with a group hug? What if they hugged the bad guy? Yeah. Would that solve everything?
Right. And so then we have nothing. Which doesn't mean there aren't good movies. Everyone has told me I should go see what is it, Project Hail Mary? That was very
I've heard it's great. Right. I will almost definitely watch it. Again, we're in baby season still. We use that as an opportunity to watch a lot of things. So we'll probably watch that.
I, on the other hand, am a great American and will be watching daily Brewers highlights.
It's peaked, Matt. It peaked.
MLB ascending, baseball ascending, everybody. So let us know. We'll see if I watch Young Sherlock. We'll see if I feel like when we have babies, we do the opposite thing. I'm just going to sleep all the time that I'm not hanging out with my kids.
Here's what I really did, by the way, that I've actually spent a probably absurd amount of time, but I don't feel bad about, and I've absolutely loved, is I rediscovered the game Total War. Did you ever play Total War, the computer game?
Yes.
So I got a Steam account and I got Total War, Medieval Total War 2 or Medieval 2 Total War, whatever it is.
Wow.
And so I have spent countless hours snuggling a baby so that my wife can sleep or whatever. And with one hand, since I can just use a mouse to play it all, just enjoying the conquering of and the, creating diplomatic friendships with various nations in the medieval era. And it's been phenomenal. It's amazing. It really is an incredible time. So shout out Total War. That's what you should go. That's not art. Slop. That's
art. That's art, baby. And because it's more likely art, because again, our movies are so desperate for an art form, is like, let's find what video game things came close to art so we can make movies again, everybody. Like,
It is. I mean, that's the way to put it. It's drawing from where the best stories of our day are being created, or at least have been for the last, decade, at least, if not the last 30 years. And that is video games, right? Video games actually are the place where the most compelling stories, the most compelling writing has been being done for a long time. And so that's where everybody's drawing from. And we'll see where it goes next. I don't know what the new thing is, right? Especially with the scrolling and the short form video. I don't know if you have long form compelling stories coming out anywhere. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong about that. I think we crave it. I think we want it. Because right now, I guess, you have some great miniseries, some great things being made in that, right? So again, Young Sherlock, phenomenal, better than a movie could be, because it's allowed to be so much character development. But I do wonder, where is that next? Is there a next thing? If there's been this move through different art forms, what's the new thing?
Yeah. Well, until next time, baby Bowser, we'll catch you all. If you're ever in lacrosse, assuming it's not something weird, I could not more highly recommend a night at the Rivoli.
If you're in lacrosse, let me know. Let's go out. Let's get some
Yeah.
pizza and beer and watch a good movie. They do put out good movies now because they're drawing from the old ones. So.
They used, I mean, again, it was one of the, it used to be a second run theater, right? So it was movies that had been out for a long time. And obviously the movie, because film is dead, right? The whole, like, that whole market is gone. And so they now make all kinds of different things. But the Rivoli makes me wish there were good movies again. That's what
being there, Matt, being there, you do have this sense of like, oh, I wish there was like a cultural institution like this that I could trust and that I could just go to regularly with my family. You do. And part of that is I grew up going there, right? Like you, I have many memories as a child going into the same theater we were in and being like, no way, we're going to the movies. This is so cool.
Yep.
So exciting. So I remember, growing up thinking this is the coolest thing in the world. So maybe that's why, right? Maybe it's just that nostalgia.
And maybe the answer, everyone, is, as I'm going to find out and I will report back, maybe the answer is take me out to the ball game. Maybe the answer is the ballpark. Maybe that is the institution we can all return to and we can all enjoy. Brewers on top of the division, everybody. Maybe that is the way forward. We lost the plot, everybody. America's pastime was always meant to be baseball. Maybe that was the solution.
Patrons, thank you for supporting this segment. Thank you for supporting our show. We look forward to making more of this stuff for you. Talk to us on Telegram later.